So every now and again, when you're an airsoft tech, something comes across your bench where it's just a real head scratcher, and today this is one of those projects. I was out at the field today, we're having a good time having fun, and we had a player drop his gun, or he fell on it, or somehow the gun was broken. And what had happened is the upper had separated from the lower like this, and the hop-up unit took off his nozzle. So what a fun little project. So I've got a spare gearbox here. I'm going to take the nozzle out there and I'm just going to replace it. I'll probably replace his O-ring and clean the gearbox up, make sure nothing else is wrong. But I've never worked on a Tippman air raid, so these are, I'm going to be honest, they feel really cheap and plasticky. So if you've thought about getting one of these and you're watching this video, you can stop right now. That's not worth the money. I don't like the way they feel. They're squeaky. The range is, honestly, sometimes it's almost as good as a Valken ASL Mod M, if I'm being honest. But what kind of performance are you gonna get out of it longevity wise? This is really, this is scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of entry level. But this is gonna be a pretty straightforward video. I'll probably speed it up. I'm just gonna go through. I'm gonna open everything up, and we're gonna get the gearbox out. Another cheapy kind of no name, no brand Chinesium motor. Not looking real good for it. Doesn't stick to anything. Alright, so this is a little curious right here. This little, what is this? This orange electrical tape. I don't know. I've never seen that on a stock gun. I know this, the owner of this gun did not do that. So, just another thing to, I don't know, look out for if you buy one of these, I suppose, is what the hell is that, Alright, look at that. So now we know. It's an actual quick change spring design on these guys. I would never put a stronger spring in there. I'd keep it stock. I doubt it can take something more powerful, but we'll see. The possibilities are endless. Right here, the gearbox has been radiused from the manufacturer. And then they did the Lazy Man radius, which is they just added another piece of like stock steel or whatever alloy they have, whatever cheap pot metal. They just layered it up right here to keep the bottom from cracking. But there is a radius here, and there is a radius right there. So we do have a radius here, and we have this buildup right here. It's a really cheap pot metal spring guide. You could tell that the coat that they put on it, the anodizing coat, is already wearing off tremendously. It honestly looks like the outside of a type of cookware or like a grill. It's got the texture of an outdoor grill on it. All right, before the grand reveal, I just want to point out something that I noticed while I was taking this apart. If you look right here, we have, it's kind of like an indent into the cylinder, so that means that you'll never be able to upgrade this cylinder to an aftermarket cylinder that is not a Tippman brand because of this little divot right here. It's just not going to work. It's not going to slide in or fit in. So if you ever want to replace the cylinder with a full cylinder right here, you're going to have to find a Tippman brand that matches this little key slot right here, else it won't work. So something like a Lonex or an RA Tech or, you know, a Mad Bull, whatever your favorite brand cylinder might be that's polished, it's not going to work because of that. So great job, Tippman. All right, now for the grand reveal. We already took the spring out, so this should be easy, but it does not want to come off. All right, pretty standard gearbox. That's your standard trigger trolley setup here with your bar latch lever thing. If you look, the solder on here is coming off. It's delaminating from the plastic. That's okay. That's not a big deal, but it's one of those tiny things I would be picky about. Plenty of grease around here. They did super glue your wires in right here. That's super glue. This looks like stock standard gears. Nothing special about it. Nice fat delayer chip on there. I like seeing stuff like that. Come on. Yo, this cylinder's just fucked up right now. Jeez. There it is. All right, we do have it's a full metal rack. So this appears to be a full metal rack, the whole length down. We've got a full metal piston head. That's actually surprised to see something like that on a gun like this. And we've got a full metal cylinder head and cylinder. Wow, look at that. There's actually a rubber gasket or spacer right here on the cylinder head. So that's actually pretty neat. I haven't seen one of those in a while. However, just as I was worried when this customer fell on his gun, I don't know if you could see it, the nozzle's bent. So I'm gonna have to replace that. Should be an easy fix from the spare right here. Not looking good for that. All right, so this is junk. There's his nozzle. There is no O-ring. No O-ring in the nozzle. So in case anyone was wondering, there's no O-ring in there. It's not a terrible thing, but some people might care about something small like that. It might be a deal breaker. So So I'm going to go ahead and get this guy cracked open. We're going to switch out parts.
All right, easy.